Hello everyone, my name is Rosa and this is a Vinyasa class for 60 minutes. If you want to have some music with it, I'll put a playlist in the description box and you can always play your own chill, relaxed music during my practices. So let's get started. Come and sit in a comfortable seat, maybe in cross-legged seat. Maybe you like to sit onto a block or a cushion. And before we begin, I would like to invite you to listen to yourself, do what feels good, and focus on your own practice. And as you sit in a cross-legged seat, Sukhasana, easy pose, you can bring your index finger on your thumb. Place them on your lap, on your legs. And this means that the ego bows for the soul. So in this case, the index finger is the ego and the thumb is the soul. Others say it enhances the movement of breath through the body, since the thumb stands for fire or warmth of breath, and the index finger stands for the air elements. So find some strength, find some meaning in this little mudra, this little hand gesture, where you put your index on your thumb. You can close your eyes if you like. And breathe in deeply through the nose. And now through the mouth. One more time, into the nose. And now through the mouth. Letting go of your life off of the mat. And arrive here with yourself on the mat. So feel where your body is touching the mat, your feet, part of your legs, your sitting bones, and then very lightly engage the pelvic floor muscles, very lightly. You can bring your lower belly in and up. Now with your mind, with your thoughts, you follow the spine, starting at the tailbone, and going up to the lower back. See a natural curve in the lower back. Going up to the mid back, your upper back, and then ending with the neck. Bring your shoulders up to the ears, and then roll them down the back, and relax them there. Relax the arms. Index is still in your thumb. And bring your chin slightly in while the crown of the head is reaching towards the sky. Relax the face. So this class has some inspirational aspects that I got from observing the Apsara dances they do in Asian countries like Cambodia, India and Vietnam. And Apsaras are, in Buddhist and Hindu mythology, heavenly and immortal women. They are beautiful dancers and irresistible seducers. So this class is about dancing with the asanas and finding some feminine strength. And I added some little mudras like we're doing right now with the index and on the thumb. I've added into the practice. If you like, and it's part of your practice, you can start your Ujjayi Breath. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just try to breathe into your nose, to the back of the throat and into the lungs. And the other way around, so from the lungs out your nose. Whenever it's needed to breathe out through the mouth, you can always do that. Try to make the in and exhales equal to each other in length and in strength. And you can bring your hands in front of your heart into Anjali Mudra, a prayer position. And set your own intention for this practice. And bring your hands to your forehead. And then bring your hands alongside the body. Maybe you would like to sit differently, maybe the other leg in front. Just to change positions a little bit. Then you can bring your right ear towards your right shoulder. And a little neck stretch. Maybe you can bring the left hand up and you flex the hand so the fingertips are facing your upper body. This will make the stretch a little bit more intense. Breathe in through the neck. And then to the center. Bring your left ear towards your left shoulder. If you want to make it more intense, you can bring your right hand up while the fingertips are reaching towards your body. And come back to the center. For a side stretch, you walk your right hands towards the right, bring your left hand overhead, and feel a nice stretch in the left side of the body. From your sitting bones, from your left sitting bones to the left fingertips. It's a long line. Breathe into the side body. And with your next inhale, you come up. Bring your left hand onto the mat, walk it as far as you can, and bring your right hand overhead. Make sure your right sitting bones are still onto the mat. You make a long line from your right sitting bones to your right fingertips. Maybe you look up or down, whatever feels good onto your neck. Your next inhale, you come up and bring your right shoulder in front of you. You bring your left underarm into your right underarm. And then you move your right arm more into the body by using your left arm. Inhale wide and exhale the other side. So now your left arm is in front of you. With the help of your right arm, you bring your left arm more in. And breathe into that shoulder. Inhale, open up. And then you have your left leg in front of you. With an inhale, you reach the arms up. And exhale, fold forward. Plant your hands where they land. Make sure your sitting bones are still onto the mat. And with every inhale, you lengthen from your sitting bones. And with every exhale, you fold maybe a little bit deeper. Relax your head. With your next inhale, you walk your hands up. Exhale here, bring your right leg in front of you, in front of the left. With an inhale, you raise the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Plant your hands where they land. Maybe this side is so much more open or more stiff. You cannot go as far, or you can go further than the other side. With every inhale, you lengthen from the sitting bones to the crown of the head. And with every exhale, you fall maybe a little bit deeper. So breathe deep. Walk your hands up with your next inhale. Now bring your hands at the back. Plant your hands with the fingertips facing backwards. And then with an inhale, bring your hips up, chest up. Nice hip opener. Maybe you let your head hang, only if it feels good for the neck. And then go down. Other leg in front. And now with an inhale, you press the hands into the mat, knees into the mat, and your hips go up. And then go slowly down. Coming to your knees. And for this first posture, I would like to bring your toes under you. And then go sit onto your heels. It's a bit awkward because we're not used to sit like this, but it's nice to stretch your toes and the back of the feet. And I would like you to bring your hands in front of you with the fingertips up. So this may be a little bit weird, but this is one thing I saw in a documentary about Apsaras, and yeah, they do this as a warming up because they do so much crazy things with their fingers. I think this is a good warming up. Well, we're not gonna do super crazy things with our fingers. But I said there were some aspects from Apsara, so this is one of them. This is also, I think they do a lot of mudras in these dancings. So hand gestures, mudra is another word for hand gesture. It's like a secret language. One more breath in and out, and let go of the hands, shake them out. Bring your toes flat onto the mat, and then come into a tabletop position. So you bring your wrists underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. Your fingers are widespread. And then with an inhale, you bring that tailbone up, your belly goes down and you look up. Exhale, tailbone goes down, round the back, look in. Inhale, tailbone up, belly down, look up. Exhale, round. Inhale to the tailbone up, cow pose. Exhale, plant the palms round the back, cat pose. One more time, inhale, tailbone up, look up, and exhale, cat. Come back to a neutral position for the spine. Then with an inhale, you bring your right hand up, and with an exhale, you bring your right hand underneath you, with the palm facing up. Bring your shoulder onto the mat. Your left hand can be in front of your face, Maybe you walk it a little bit more in front, or maybe you wrap it around. Nice shoulder opening. Try to breathe deep. Then bring your hand in front of your face again, flat onto the mat. Plant your left hand, bring your right hand up again, and then plant it back. Other side, inhale, left hand up, and exhale, fold it under. Bring your right hand in front of your face, a little bit more in front, or you wrap it around. Bring your right hand in front of your face again. Inhale, left hand up. Exhale, plant it down. Now you put your socks off. Very important, otherwise it's a bit dangerous to slide from your mat. And then you bring your knees and your feet hip distance apart again. Your toes are tucked under, and then with an exhale you come into your first downward facing dog. So do whatever feels good. Maybe you bend your knee in the other. Walk your dog. Maybe you shake your head, yes or no. You bend your knees, look to the front of the mat, and you walk your feet towards your hands. Your feet are hip distance apart, so right underneath the hips, and then you grab the opposite elbow, ragdoll pose. Sitting bones reaching towards the sky, maybe you sway a little bit side to side. And let go of your elbows. Bring your big toes to touch. Big toes to touch, and your heels are slightly apart. With an inhale, plant the feet, raise the arms up. Exhale, hands in front of your heart. Put my sweater off. And tie my hair. Then with an inhale, you bring your hands up. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, halfway lift. Your tailbone is reaching backwards. The crown of the head is reaching forward. Exhale, plant the palms. Bring your right foot back and then your left foot back into a plank pose. In plank, look at your posture. You're really like a plank, so maybe you need to bring your hips more down. Heels reach backwards. You use the core. And then bring your knees down. With an exhale, you're coming all the way down. Untuck the toes. With an inhale, come high up for cobra. So you bring your chest and your head up. Exhale, down. Inhale, up. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Cobra waves. Inhale. Exhale. And you tuck your toes under. Come to your hands and knees. And then with an exhale to a downward facing dog. Your fingers are wide spread in downward facing dog. You bring your lower belly in and up. Bringing your hips up and back. Maybe your knees are bent, that's totally fine. If you first have the upper body right, then you can work to straighten your legs. Then with an inhale, you bring your right leg up. Exhale, plant your right leg next to your right thumb. Your left knee comes down, toes flat. With an inhale, you come up into a low lunge with a back bend. So cactus your arms, bend your elbows, look up. Inhale to the center. Exhale. Then bring your left toes under. And with an inhale, you come into Anjali Mudra. You bring your left knee up. Legs are strong. Left heel is reaching backwards. Lower belly in and up, and relax the shoulders. Last inhale. And with an exhale, you come to Warrior 2. So you bend your front knee deeply so that the right knee is over the right ankle. Your left foot is parallel to the short edge of the mat. Look over your right fingertips. Warrior 2. And bring your right palm up. With an inhale, reach your right palm backwards. Reverse warrior. You can look wherever feels good for your neck. Maybe up, maybe right in front of you, or down. With an exhale, you bring your right upper arm and your right upper thigh. Left arm goes up, overhead. It's a long line of energy from your left foot to your left fingertips. Make sure you open up the chest. And come back to Warrior 2. Exhale with moving arms forward. Bring your right foot back into the plank pose. Inhale on plank. Exhale, come all the way down where your knees are up. Inhale, tuck the toes, come up for a cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. Going directly to the other side. With an inhale, bring your left leg up. And exhale, left foot next to your left thumb. Right knee goes down, right toes flat. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, back bend. Inhale, up. Exhale here. Bring your right toes under, knee up. Inhale, Anjali Mudra. Stay here for a bit. Right heel reaches backwards. Maybe it looks to a point which is not moving. Last inhale. And with an exhale, Warrior 2. So your tailbone is under. You bring the lower belly in and up, like always. Maybe smile. And bring your left palm up. With an inhale, reach the left palm backwards. Reverse warrior. Right leg is strong. Your knee is still bent deeply. But make sure it doesn't go over the left ankle. Keep it on top. With your next exhale, bring your left underarm and your left upper thigh. Right arm goes overhead. With your next inhale, Warrior 2. Exhale, windmill the arms forward, plank pose. Inhale and plank. Exhale, come all the way down to your belly. Bend your elbows. Inhale, cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. Find your breath in downward facing dog. Whenever you need, you can always come back to a child's pose by bringing your knees onto the mat, your big toes touching your heels, your hips touch your heels, well, your forehead is onto the mat. You can do this always, whenever is needed. From a downward facing dog, with an inhale, you bring your right leg up. Exhale, bring your right foot next to your right thumb. Your left knee goes down again, toes flat. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, back bend. Inhale to the center. Exhale here. Inhale, left toes under, bring your knee up. Exhale, warrior two. Right palm goes up. Inhale, bring your right arm overhead, and this time you bring your left hand in front of you as if you are pushing something away. This is a dancing warrior. We had some dancing aspects, so here is one. Breathe deep. With your next exhale, bring your right underarm and your right upper thigh. Left arm overhead. This time you push with your right hand something away to the back. Push something away you don't need anymore. Let it go. Breathe. With your next inhale, warrior two. Exhale, windmill the arms forward. Plant your right palm back into a plank pose. This time you keep your knees up. And with an exhale, you come halfway down. Roll over your toes. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. And your next inhale, bring your left leg up. Exhale, bring your left foot next to your left thumb. Right knee goes down, toes flat. Inhale up. Exhale, back bend. Inhale up. Exhale here. Right toes under. Inhale, Anjali Mudra. Exhale, warrior two. Bring your left palm up. Inhale, reverse warrior. But no, it's going to be a dancing warrior. Since we're gonna push our right hand towards the front. As if you are pushing something away. Make sure your left knee is bent deeply. And exhale, left underarm, your left upper thigh. Right arm overhead. And this time you push something away to the back. Whatever is needed, if you need to modify your pose while you're breathing into the pose, it's totally fine. Like, if you're feeling you're not doing it right or something needs to change, you can do that. But think about if it's uncomfortable or pain. There's a difference between it. If it's uncomfortable, you can breathe through it. And then it's gonna be more comfortable. With an inhale, warrior two. Exhale, windmill the arms forward, come to a plank pose. Inhale, plank. Exhale, halfway down. And then inhale, roll over your toes, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Find your rest here. We're gonna do this one more time with one more variation. With an inhale, bring your right leg up. Exhale, bring your right foot next to your right thumb. Left knee goes down, toes flat. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, back bend. Inhale, arms up. Exhale here. Inhale, left toes under, Anjali Mudra. Exhale, warrior two. Right arm up. Inhale, reach it backwards. And then bring your left hand in front of you. This time, you put your middle finger on your thumb. On both hands. This means, well, this increases the spaciousness. Since the middle finger stands for space or either. It's a really nice metaphor. Breathe. And next exhale, bring your right arm on your right upper thigh. Left arm reaches overhead. And bring your middle finger on your thumb again. This will increase your spaciousness. Increase the feeling of spaciousness. Your next inhale, warrior two. Exhale, wiggle the arms forward. Come back to a plank pose. Inhale and plank. And this time it's your choice to bring your knees down, up, coming all the way or halfway down. Doing a cobra or upward facing dog with that inhale. And then come back to a downward facing dog. You can also always skip that little vinyasa and just come straight to downward facing dog. Whatever your energy level is, whatever you need at that moment. So with an inhale, bring your left leg up. Exhale, plant your left foot next to your left thumb. Right knee goes down, toes flat. Inhale up. Exhale, back bend. Inhale up. Exhale here. Right toes under. Inhale, Anjali. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reach that left arm up. Push that right hand in front of you as if you were pushing something away. And your middle finger goes on your thumb. Increase that spaciousness. Strong legs. Engage the whole leg. And with your next exhale, bring your left underarm, your left upper thigh, your right hand goes overhead. Bring that middle finger or your thumb. With an inhale, warrior two. Windmill the arms forward. Plank pose. Your choice to do a vinyasa or come straight to downward facing dog. If you do a vinyasa, with an exhale, go down. Inhale, cobra, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. find your breath, your rhythm. Can be totally different than mine. And while you're in downward facing dog, bend your knees, look to the front of the mat. You can choose to walk towards your hands or maybe lightly jump. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, plant the feet this time. Bend your knees. Bring your arms up with an inhale. Katasana, chair pose. Make sure you can see your toes when you look down. And that your knees are in one line. Maybe sit lower, lower belly is in and up. Relax the shoulders. Exhale, straighten the legs. Bring your hands in front of your heart. Samastiti. Close your eyes. And remember your intention. The intention you set at the beginning of the practice. If you're ready, you can open up your eyes again. With an inhale, you bend your knees, bring your arms up, Katasana. Exhale, straighten the arms, fold forward this time. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms, bring your left foot back and then your right foot back into a plank pose. Exhale, all the way halfway down. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. With your next inhale, you bring your right leg up. Exhale, print your right foot next to your right thumb. Your left foot goes flat onto the mat into a 45-degree angle. So your toes are pointing diagonally on your mat. This could feel a little bit heavy on your left calf. With an inhale, you bring your both arms up. Warrior 2. So if this is really painful, you can always bring your left leg a little bit more to the side, so there's more space between both feet. Arms up, warrior 1. And bring your left arm under your right. Eagle arms. And maybe you bring your hands around each other as well. If this is not possible, you can also bring your hands onto your shoulders like this. And otherwise you can wrap them around. Come back into that warrior 1 position with the legs and your torso. Inhale, lengthen. And with an exhale, you fold forward, bringing your shoulders in between the legs. So at the left side of your right knee. Humble warrior. You're bowing for something bigger than you. This is what this reminds me of. Your next inhale, you come up, release your hands, and an exhale, inhale, arms up, exhale, plant the hands, bring your right foot back into a plank pose. Your choice to do a Vinyasa or come straight to a downward facing dog. Maybe again you shake your head loose. Nice shaking yes and no. And bring your left leg up. With an exhale, bring your left foot next to your left thumb. Your right foot goes flat onto the mat. And make sure it's in a 45-degree angle, so your toes are pointing diagonally on the mat. Your right toes. With an inhale, come up. Your left knee is bent deep. Maybe you need to step your right foot more to the right. And then warrior one. One more breath. Make sure your hips are facing the front of the mat. And maybe you can put your hands into your hips and bring your hips more to the front. And when your hands are up again, your right arm goes under your left arm. Then you can maybe touch the palms of the head. Maybe you need to bring your hands into your shoulder. Whatever feels good. With an inhale, you lengthen. Bend deep to that left leg. And with an exhale, you come forward. Your hands and your shoulder go to the right side of your left leg. Humble warrior. So if you feel some uncomfortableness, like me and now, try to breathe deep through it. Make your breath deep and strong. One more breath. With an inhale, loosen up your hands. Exhale, warrior one. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, plant your hands. Bring your left foot back into a plank pose. Do your Vinyasa, come straight to a downward facing dog. And then everybody comes to a child's pose. So bring your knees onto the mat. Bring your knees as wide as your mat. Your big toes are touching in the middle of the mat. And your hips are going to your heels. And your forehead onto the mat. And listen to your breathing. Walk your hands towards the right. You walk your fingertips towards the right. Feel nice stretching the left side of the body. You can relax your head, your neck. You walk your hands towards the left. As far as you can, and relax your head, your neck. And come back to the center. Come onto hands and knees. Make sure your wrists are underneath your shoulders and your hips. Your knees and your feet are hip distance apart again. Tuck the toes under with an exhale to a downward facing dog. One breath here, in out, let it go out through your mouth. One more breath in and out through the mouth. And bend your knees, look to the front of the mat, and you can step or jump. So it's the front. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, bend the knees. Bring your hands up into chair pose again. Make sure you can see the toes, your knees are in one line. And bring your right hand under your left. We're going for that eagle arms again. If this is not possible, you can always grab your shoulders. Then we are going to bring our right leg over the left leg. Maybe you look at one point which is not moving. Maybe you bring your right leg all the way around, your right foot. If this is not possible, you can always put your foot onto the ground or onto a block or a book. Okay. So if you sit here, make sure your hips are both facing to the front. And maybe you can sit a little bit lower. Focus. And with your next inhale, you come out, bring your knee up, knee down. Shake it loose. Bring your feet hip distance apart. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Then grab the big toes with the peace finger, so with the index finger and your middle finger, at the inside of the big toe. Close it with the thumb. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And exhale, fold forward. And maybe you need to bend your knees for that, as long as your spine is nice and long. Sit bones reaching up. And let go of your big toes. Bring your feet together again. The big toes touch, heels slightly apart. Inhale, bend the knees, arms up. Exhale, bring your left hand, arm underneath your right. For eagle arm, maybe you grab onto the shoulders. Whatever feels good. And then with your inhale, bring your left leg up and bring it over the right. At this side, I cannot bring my feet all the way around. So there can be differences in every side, in every body. Maybe sit lower, make sure your hips are facing to the front. Lower belly in and up. Smile. Then with an inhale, come up. Exhale, let it go. Shake out your legs, maybe your upper body as well. And then your hips, your feet are hip distance apart again. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. This time you bring your whole hand with the palms facing up under your feet. So maybe you need to bend your knees a lot for this. And then with an inhale, lengthen the spine. And with an exhale, you fold. Maybe you can straighten your legs more. Maybe you like to massage your feet, your hands with the feet. Super nice if you're on your computer a lot, or on your phone, or working with your hands a lot, with your fingers. Last breath. And then with an exhale, let go of the hands. Roll your fingers. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, hands in front of your heart. Then bring your feet wide. So you're facing the long side of the mat. Your toes are pointing outwards. And then bend your knees into a squat. If you bring your hands like this, as a cactus arms with the elbows bent, you're in a goddess pose. If you then bring your ring finger on your thumb, you have the Mother Earth Mudra. The ring stands for earth, and this mudra should bring a sense of stability. So feel stable, feel your grounding into the earth and carried by Mother Earth. Maybe you bend your knees a little bit more to that squat. Breathe deeply. And straighten your legs. Bring your toes in, your hands into your hips. This time your toes are a little bit in and your heels are a little bit out. Inhale, you lengthen the spine. And with an exhale from the hips, you fold forward into Prasarita Katasana. You bring your hands underneath your shoulders and let your neck relax. Maybe if you want to go further, you can bring your hands in between your feet. Hang here and remember once again your intention. And bring your hands underneath your shoulders again. And then bend your left knee deep while your left first you point your left toes towards the left or a little bit diagonally on your mat. And bend your left knee. Bring your right toes up. You flex the feet. Maybe your heel is up high. It doesn't matter. As long as you feel a nice stretch in that hamstring. This is Kandasana. And we go to the other side. We walk to the other side. The right knee bends. Your left foot goes up. You flex the foot. And then again to the other side. Right foot flexes. Inhale up. And exhale, go into that Katasana. If you want, you can keep your hands up and go with the strength of your leg to the other side. Inhale up. Exhale into that Katasana. Inhale up. I like to play around with my hands. Exhale, Katasana. Inhale up. Exhale into that last Katasana. Then bring your hands onto the mat in front of your right foot, next to your right foot. The left toes under. Come back into a plank pose. Make sure your wrist underneath your shoulders. You reach the heels back. It's gonna be your last vinyasa, so go for it. Exhale down. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Find your breath. With your next inhale, you bring your right leg up. Then with your exhale, you bring your right knee underneath your right wrist and your left foot foot underneath your left wrist. Left knee goes down, toes flat. So your right leg doesn't have to be in a 90-degree angle. There are not many people who can do that. So it's okay if your right foot is a little bit more down. But make sure you flex the toes so your right foot is active. And you can look over the left shoulder to see if your left leg is in line with the left hip. If that is the case, look forward again. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, fold forward into a pigeon pose. Your forehead can be on the mat. On your hands. Wherever feels good. Make sure you relax the shoulders. If there's any pain in the knee, please come out of this pose. And try another hip opener, like laying onto your back. Right ankle over your left thigh. And then bring your left thigh into your chest. I'm going to stay here for a while. You're ready. With your next inhale, you walk your hands up. Plant your hands, tuck your left toes under and come back into a downward facing dog. Maybe you like to pedal your feet out, feeling the difference between one side and the other. And come to stillness again in downward facing dog. With an inhale, you bring your left leg up. And with an exhale, you bring your left knee underneath your left wrist. Your right foot underneath your right wrist. Right knee goes down, toes flat. Look over the right shoulder to see if your leg is in one line with the right hip. That is the case. Look forward again. Make sure your left foot is active, so you flex the toes. You flex the toes. With an inhale, you lengthen. Exhale, you fold forward. Forehead up to the mat, your hands. Maybe a cushion, whatever feels good. Just relax your shoulders here. If there's any pain in the knee, please come out again, and then you can do that other hip stretch, but this time bringing your left ankle over your right thigh and bringing the knee into your chest. With your next inhale, you walk your hands up, plant the hands, fingers wide spread, right toes under, come into your last downward facing dog. Maybe pedal the feet out, maybe you like to stay still. Do whatever feels nice into this last downward facing dog and enjoy the stretch. Bend the knees, look to the front of the mat and step or jump into a seated position so you can landing onto your sitting bones. Your legs are straight in front of you and your toes are flexed, so they face towards your upper body. You sit onto your sitting bones, your back is nice and long, lower belly in and up. Roll the shoulders back and then place your hands next to your hips. Maybe your elbows are bent, if your arms are longer. Make sure that shoulders are relaxed. Look forward to one point. Just stay here. Kandasana. Let it go. Come to sit into front of your mat, knees bent, arms right straight out in front of you, and then with an exhale, you're coming very slowly while using the core, laying onto your back. Onto your back. Some time for some free movement. Do whatever feels good. Maybe you like to massage your lower back. Rolling in one direction and the other. Come to the center again. And bring your right leg out. Your left knee into the chest. And with an exhale, you bring your left knee towards your right. Your left arm is straight. And then maybe you look over to your right, to your left, sorry. Make sure that both shoulders are onto the mat. So if this means your left knee is off of the mat, that's totally fine. Otherwise you don't feel the stretch. So it's your shoulder and your whole spine. Breathe deep in this twist. And with your next exhale, you bring your knee and your head to the center. Bring your left leg out, your right knee into your chest. And with your next exhale, you bring your right knee towards the left. Your right arm goes out, straight, or maybe you bend the right elbow. Look over to the right. Making sure that both shoulders are onto the mat. It doesn't matter if your right knee is off of the mat. If you like, you can always put something underneath that knee for more support. into the center. And bring both knees in. Bring the knees wide. And the soles of the feet are reaching towards the sky. You bend the knees. And you bring your arms in between the legs. And then grab the outer edges of your feet. If this is hard, you can always bring your hands on inside of the knees. Then bring your knees more down. Make sure your whole back is onto the mat. Maybe you like to sway side to side to massage that back. Happy baby. Give yourself one more smile. Now, of course, you can give yourself more than not enough smiles. But, yes. And bring your knees into the chest. Stretch yourself out. Bring your hands overhead, your legs out. Inhale. And with an exhale, side out. Let it go. Inhale, stretch it out. And let it go. You can make yourself ready for Shavasana. If you're getting cold quickly, you can put something warm on. Make sure you do it mindfully. And you can come lying onto your back. Your arms alongside the body with the palms facing up. Feel yourself heavy into the mat. This is the time for you where you can finally be on pause and you don't have to do anything. Wait for my command to come out of Shavasana. like to come out of Shavasana, you can wiggle the toes, wiggle the feet, roll the wrist, the ankles. Maybe bring your head from side to side. And bring your knees into the chest. And roll over to your right side. Come to sit into a seated position, just how you started this practice. And bring your hands in front of your heart into Anjali Mudra. And remember, once again, your intention you set at the beginning of the practice. Bring your hands to your forehead. I would like to thank you for practicing with me. Namaste. Thank you. If you have any questions, feedback or requests, let me know.